We are living in the kingdom of the Most High God. You know, we can fight here on earth for different parties, or we can fight for our rights. But at the end of the day, God is saying in His word, bring kingdom to earth. He says, I have a very special kingdom, and I want you to bring that kingdom to earth. I want you to live in that kingdom. That kingdom also have rules. That kingdom has guidance. It shows us, it actually exactly shows us how to live, what to do, what not to do. And in this kingdom, you start knowing that God is saying, I want to give you my everything. I'm in Him and Him in me. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. We become one. So in this kingdom, your Abba Father is the King of the universe. But sometimes we still want to live in the world, but just want something from God. We just want His hands. And I have found in my life, you know, when you just want His hand, it's like you don't take up your title deed. That God says, I gave you a title deed. This is all yours. You can have this. It's yours, but you need to live here. Come and stay in my heart. But many a time we just in and out, like we're rent, you know. And we just want His hand. We just want this situation. If God can just sort out this situation in my life, everything is going to be better. And then we start judging God that, you know, if He doesn't do it, is He a good God? Somebody asked me the other day in a coaching session, can God be a good God if He allows this or allows this? And He took my baby. No, God doesn't take babies, my dear friend. God make babies. He's the creator. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's his character. But the Father, Jesus, the Messiah, He gives life and life in abundance. So this is my question today to you and me. Why do we serve God? Is it to receive, just to find His hand? But God says this is a place of right standing. He says, seek first of all this place, this kingdom of right standing in the plumb line with God. And you know, I have learned in my life, God forms us to come into this place of the plumb line. The journey with my mom are very unique. It's very much the same that we have walked with before with Aldo. For a whole year, Aldo couldn't make a sound. And then later, a little noise came out, and the noise has become a verb is a word, a sentence. But in the beginning, I couldn't hear and I couldn't understand. But quickly, I learned to look at his body language, his eyes, to see, is he happy, not happy? And this is what God says. He says, come into my kingdom, live in my kingdom. It's got a different language. It's got a different way of doing things. It's got patience. It's got long suffering. It got endurance. It's many things that God is going to train us in His kingdom. We just don't get it. You know, the first day I gave my life to Jesus, I just had all this. No, faith is like a muscle. It needs to be trained. God is going to train us endurance. He's going to train us long suffering. He's going to train us to have His nature. Now this dome, this kingdom, is a king's dome over us. And that dome protects us. And that dome, in that you have all the provision that God has for you. So as a child of God, living in God's kingdom, you will never be at a place, and I'm preaching to myself, that we need to worry, that we need to say, what are we going to do through this? And how are we going to do this? Psalm 125 verse 1 says this, those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken, but endures forever. I just love that. And you know, many times that if I'm still shaken, I say that to myself, which part of you haven't entered into God's kingdom? Which part of you, Retah, are still trusting and relying on yourself, your own abilities, your own efforts? And of course we have to work. Of course we have to give our part. But our strength, our wisdom, the 7 spirits before the throne, that empowers us, not who we are. This is a process. God's kingdom has a mold, a form. And He transformed us out of the ways of the world, he transformed us into his mold. His mold has patience. His mold is a mold that teaches you how to be kind to people. You know, it doesn't matter if they're kind to you. We need still to be kind back. I just read here something in this book where I said, Aldo wrote, "Sir, God asks you, why do you not trust Jesus? He wants so badly to care for you, but you do not want to hand over everything to his hands. You want to remain in control. Sir, God cannot help you if you do not surrender." I remember this case. It was somebody that wants us to pray for his finance, and Aldo said, "Why don't you trust Jesus? I see you still hold everything for yourself." God is a God of the supernatural, and he wants to work supernaturally in your life. I was reminded the other day by the Lord how we prayed for someone, a friend of us, in December, and she went through a very difficult time. And as I prayed, the Lord prompted me in my heart to say that he's going to open supernaturally out of his kingdom. I need to pull down kingdom, and I need to open some things in her life. And I just did it by faith. I just opened what he showed me, opened this door, opened that door, just by faith. Lord, I open this. I speak life into this. I speak life into this. And I prayed for her, and I said, I really trust God with you. And it was not something that I could do. I couldn't make a way for her. And we had the privilege to have coffee with them in January. And they were telling us how God supernaturally opened up this door, that door, that door. And that was exactly the doors that God asked me to open in the Spirit and to pray in there and to bring kingdom down to earth. So what I'm trying to say to you, when you surrender and you stay in God's kingdom, my dear friend, God is a supernatural God. And he will provide supernaturally in all your needs. And just the journey that as I walked it through with Aldo and now with my mom, and many times still every day with Aldo, I have learned that everything don't need to be perfect. But I have learned to be real. And in the realness of life, we find so much more of God. It's all these layers of protection, of how we want to protect ourselves, that we don't get to the heart of the Father. In God's kingdom, you can relax. In God's kingdom, you can know that you know that you know you have a good Father. You know, the word says he's a good Father and he loves his children. He's slow to anger, but his love is abounding. God's love never ends. And the more we live in his kingdom, the more love we will have to give to others. The more mercy, the more we will be able to endure. Many times when I look at my own life, I know that I cannot walk this journey without the endurance of God. I cannot walk this journey without his strength. And I'm just a person, I'm just a human being, so some days are more difficult than other days. And but I have learned to bring kingdom down in every area of my life. If I see there's a block, I stop and I said, Lord, I want to bring down your kingdom. Even if it's your kingdom wisdom, your kingdom understanding, your kingdom way. Maybe there's a door that's, what is the reason that this door doesn't want to open? And always remember this amazing prayer. Father, if this is your will, open this door. If this is not your will, let it stay closed. Don't try to push a thing and say, yes, God said you need to push until God is able. God is able. You just need to come into his heart. Stay in him. So this is today. I look at the cross and I know that Jesus paid the price for everyone on this earth to communicate with him. Doesn't matter if you can talk or not talk, if you can speak or not speak. Like my mom, every now and then her words came back, but some words you don't understand. But I know when she started explaining to me how she prayed and what she prayed. And the Lord, I just know, the Lord knows. Even if there's sound, no sound, if there's voice, no voice. words, no words, doesn't make sense, the words, doesn't matter. God knows the prayer of our heart. So my dear friend, just stay in his kingdom. Let the plumb line be open between you and God. And so I bless you to have a wonderful day in the presence of the Most High God.